It was supposed to be a beautiful Christmas morning, the kind where children wake up to the smell of biscuits and pine needles, and parents smile quietly knowing they've done enough. But in a small farmhouse in North Carolina, the snow fell over something else. Silence. The kind that doesn't come from peace, but from the moment everything stops living. And by the end of that day, 7 members of the Lawson family would be dead. The only question anyone ever asked afterward was why. Charles Davis Lawson was not a rich man. He was a tobacco farmer, hard-working, God-fearing, and known in Germantown as a quiet man who loved his family. He lived with his wife, Fanny, and their 7 children: Marie, Arthur, Carrie, Maybelle, James, Raymond, and baby Mary Lou. Their home was small, but the kind of small that felt safe, until it wasn't. Just days before Christmas, Charles did something unusual. He took his entire family to town, bought them all new clothes, and insisted they take a professional family portrait. In 1929, that wasn't something a poor farmer did on a whim. But there they were, lined up in their Sunday best, staring into the camera with expressions that now feel almost knowing. On Christmas morning, Arthur, the eldest son, Agnès, was sent on an errand to buy more ammunition for hunting. He didn't know it then, but his father had just saved his life. While Arthur was gone, Charles waited outside near the barn. His daughters, Carrie and Maybelle, were walking to visit their uncle's house, still in their coats, probably talking about gifts or singing carols. He met them on the path, and without a word, he raised his shotgun. What happened next? No one could truly explain. Charles returned to the house, where he killed his wife, Fanny. Then one by one, his children, Marie, James, Raymond, and baby Mary Lou. Neighbors heard the shots echo through the valley, but by the time they arrived, it was too late. Charles was found hours later deep in the woods, his own shotgun by his side. He had left behind footprints circling a tree and as if pacing, deciding whether to pull the trigger. And finally, he did. Inside the house, investigators found a strange sight. The family, carefully arranged. Each body had been placed in a line, arms crossed, heads resting gently on pillows. Near them, a half-baked raisin cake sat untouched on the table. The house was cold, but the smell of Christmas still lingered. People tried to understand it. Some said Charles had gone mad, that a head injury months earlier had changed him. Others whispered something darker, that his daughter Marie, the beautiful 17-year-old seen smiling in that portrait, was pregnant, and that her father was the one responsible. That rumor came years later from a cousin who said Marie had confided the secret just before she died. If it's true, then that morning wasn't madness, it was guilt. A man trying to erase what he couldn't hide. After the murders, the Lawson home became a place of horror and fascination. Tourists came from miles away to see it. The walls still stained, the beds still made. They even charged admission. Visitors claimed the air felt heavy, like the house was still listening. On a shelf sat that same raisin cake, covered in dust, a reminder that the last thing this family ever did was prepare to celebrate Christmas. Years later, Arthur, the only surviving son, tried to move on. He got married, started a family, but the shadow of that Christmas never left him. He once told a friend he could still hear his sisters calling his name at night. In 1945, Arthur died in a car accident at just 32. Some say it was a coincidence, others aren't so sure. The official record says Charles Lawson snapped, that he suffered a mental break, But records don't capture everything. They don't explain why he bought those new clothes or why he had to have that family portrait. Like a man documenting what he already knew was ending. The photo still exists. The smile's frozen forever. If you look closely, you'll see it too. That faint, almost invisible tension behind their eyes, as if somewhere deep down, they already knew Christmas would never come. The Hollow Hour doesn't tell stories to scare you. We tell them because somewhere in every tragedy, there's a truth about what people hide and how darkness often wears a familiar face. If you've made it this far, you already know. Not all ghosts haunt houses. Some haunt memories. Thank you for watching. Until next time, keep your lights low and your mind open.